live.
All right.
Oh my goodness.
Yo,
damn.
What's going on?
What is going on? Woo! Jeez Louise, it has been far too long. We are here at the Budrush. Oh my Lanta. Okay, this is the first time I'm seeing myself on camera. I do look okay, I guess. That is cool. Everybody, welcome. I'm your host, Tommy Fresh. This is the Budrush Bellow, the live podcast from the Fresh and Buds universe. I guess we're calling it a universe now. It is time to rock and roll. We got a great show for you all tonight. We're going to talk about some spoilers that have come out. We're going to talk a little bit about Indianapolis because I wasn't able to do the show last week. And what else are we going to talk about? Oh, stealth. What's stealth? We got a little peek into what stealth is or what it isn't. And we're going to crack some packs and talk a little bit about a Leviathan deck I just built. I hope everybody's doing well. How is my co-host doing, Mr. Viz, a.k.a. Gary?
Hey, man. I'm doing all right. You know, birds. Sad about the birds this weekend. You know, less than 4 cars got lit on fire in Philadelphia. So we didn't celebrate too hard because we couldn't celebrate. But yeah, no, I'm doing pretty well. You know, work's been on the opposite of your side. Work's been pretty light this week. But yeah, just I've been playing a lot of Flesh and Blood on Talshar. Been playing a lot of Princess Chain. You know.
Yep.
Excited to go to my armory tomorrow night, playing some Viscerai. You seen these card prices lately, man? This heart stuff going on?
I sure have. I don't have a heart, so I mean, what I have. I think I do have a heart, but I don't have a heart of Fyendal. But yeah, it's pretty brutal. It's pretty crazy. I mean, maybe we have Michael Hamilton to blame for that, but maybe we don't.
Probably.
Listen, we love Michael, so it doesn't matter. But do you have a heart of Fyendal?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I got 2 from Dark Depths.
Oh yeah.
And then I traded 1 for my Marvel Viscerai. So I'm sitting pretty. You know. I'm sitting pretty in my Buds gear too.
You're looking hot.
You too, man.
Thank you.
You too. We're looking smooth.
Fresh, I think is the word we're looking for here.
Yes. Fresh and Bud.
Yeah. Well, I do want to shout out to the chat that's just, you know, kind of chilling out. We got Andrew, aka Azor from
How's it going?
The Buds Discord, which everyone should join. I think the Buds Discord's awesome. We have a lot of fun there, and I love it there. And I wish I was better at typing because then I would be number 1 ranked. But I'm not. So I just drive around too much during the day. It's like sometimes I put myself at risk and danger when I'm answering different messages. But that's totally cool. But before we get to what we're going to talk about today, I want to shout out to, well, first of all, the Patreon, which is a wonderful place where you can help support the show, keep the lights on, the mics hot, and you know, get some bonus stuff. Any of the packs that we don't open tonight will be opened in a video that we post on there. Some bonus apps, anything, like, if you know, listen, if you're a patron, if you ask me to do something, odds are I'm going to do it. And because I'm crazy.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with me. Gary knows. But check it out. By no means necessary, but we are grateful regardless. Also, we want to shout out Fresh and Buds, the penultimate podcast for this channel that I recently switched over to doing video on the YouTube, still doing audio for all the other audio platforms. But tomorrow we have Hemel Patel, who many people might know on Discord as Incarnate Zeus, who does a lot of singles market stuff. and has a business called Hammurabi TCG, which I implore everyone to check out, and check out the podcast.
Yeah.
So we had a great chat about the secondary market, because I don't really know what's going on, right? I mean, I just buy cards and play them. I don't really pay attention. If something spikes, I don't know unless someone makes a tweet about it. So it was very enlightening. It was a great conversation, and he's a great bud, and he just joined the Buds Discord. So if you don't like what he says, tag him and bully him. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. But yeah, that's it. And if you're watching, obviously you're watching this on YouTube, give us a little like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Trying to get to 500 subscribers. I think we're at 275 or something like that. We're kind of close. We're getting there. And at 500, full adult Levi cosplay,
Tentacles and all.
Gary will be the rabbit that she killed. But yeah, that's everything. That we need to talk. That's like all the business stuff. We're at, let's get it out of the way. And now
we're at the mullet. We're at the party now, right?
Yeah. It was business in the front, and now we're to the back. All right. So, let's crack some packs, Gary. What do you think?
All right, let's do it.
Let me get my phone out of there. Jeez. Let me see all those text messages I get from James White. Actually, you know what? We'll let you roll the dice first.
Yeah.
So for anybody just tuning in, we roll a dice like it's Scabskins, and we divide it by 2, round down, and that's how many packs we open. And whatever we don't open, we'll open on Patreon. And we do have one Gambler's Gloves, but this Gambler's Gloves looks a little weird.
We got 2.
Ooh. Yeah, Gary dies at 500 subs. Yeah,
Yes.
Anything for content.
Anything for content. I'll do it.
Let's pop the gloves. See what happens.
Pop the gloves?
Yeah, I don't know. We're trying to go for the win here.
All right. Going for the win. Let's see. Ooh, did that roll off?
Another 2. All right. Well, we're opening one on stream and 1 or 2 on the Patreon later. How about that?
Yeah.
All right. We got 1 pack here. Is it my first Fable ever?
Yeah.
All right. Let's find out. If it is, that's gonna be pretty lit. All right. There's a couple big hits in here that I wouldn't mind hitting, and rumble grunting is not one of them. So we're gonna say no to rumble grunting and no. Well, I do actually play Blue Puncture in a deck. It's not a bad card.
Yeah.
Sap. More like crap. I don't know. Hemorrhage Bore. Yeah.
Bore joke.
Bore joke.
Come on, outsiders. We need new jokes.
I know, outsiders. You need to come here. Urgent delivery. I'm going to urgently deliver that to the pile. Nix the Nimble. Oh, we do have a Majestic here. The Blazing Uri. What's up?
Oh,
Paul,
Timmy.
the Tall Timmy's in chat. How you doing? I'm sorry that you didn't enjoy the blue cheese. I swear to God, we have better blue cheese in the States.
Blue cheesers. We're cheesing out right now.
Oh, we got the crankshaft foil. Yeah, whatever. Blessing of Key and Blessing of Focus. Well, hey, listen, I think I'm blazing your eye.
We got some gear. What else could you ask for?
Yeah, I know.
But you got some gear at least.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Tall Timmy, I can't wait for you to come back to the States. I want to have a Pabst Blue Ribbon with you, buddy. I know that's your the beer that you discovered here and really fell in love with, and I understand it. So, oh man,
Consistent,
Yeah. Well, hey, listen, we got the blazing Uri. I'm very bad at pronouncing that. Yoroi. Yoroi.
Yoroi.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. I've just been saying Yoroi.
We'll never know. To be honest.
You can just spell it out every time.
Yeah.
Yoroi.
Yeah. We have this blazing good sideboard card against the mirror.
Just in. Tall Timmy says he ran it back on a turkey wrap and it wasn't too bad.
There we go.
So yeah, thank you for the second half.
See, that's something I admire. You didn't just give up. I think a lot of people would just give up. I appreciate. And turkey wrap, that makes sense. I would throw it on a turkey wrap. I don't remember what you were having it with.
Lamb chop.
Lamb chop. Yeah, lamb chop. When I think of lamb, I think of like mint jelly for whatever reason. I think that's like a big way to eat it. But you know what? That's you know, it is what it is. And everybody take a drink, you know. I just said it is what it is. But hey, listen. You told me you had a Scabskin moment of the week. What is your Scabskin moment of the week? I also have a Scabskin moment when you're done.
All right. So my Scabskin moment of the week revolves around the Commoner League I've been playing. Because let me tell you, you can't play Scabskins in the Commoner, but you know what card's really good that is also kind of like Scabskins? What? Beaten Trackers.
Oh yeah, I have one.
Beaten Trackers is such a nuts card. And I'm sorry, this isn't actually about Scabskins. If you're new, this is just, we talk about brute shit for like 10 minutes. But yeah, so I was playing this Commoner deck, and I really fell in love with the idea that you've got all these different ways to get go again. You know, you got your wild rides and the boots, right? The boots are so much better than I gave them credit for. I was playing a game against Jeff, the merch guy, Kai of Merch on Twitter. He was my opponent last week, and I played a 6 attack that discarded a card that didn't have go again, and then I made another action point, and then I played this card called Pound for Pound. Are you familiar with the card Pound for Pound?
Oh, that's like a Monarch.
Yeah,
Monarch Common or something like that.
Yeah, Monarch Common. It's really good, and it's really good in Rhinar, and especially in Commoner because it's a 6, right? It blocks 2, but it says if you have less life than your opponent, this attack gains Dominate. So, in Commoner, late when nobody has armor and you're sitting there at 1 and the opponent's at 2, that's a kill shot, baby. That's a kill shot. So I just want to say I love Brute more recently. It's a great Commoner deck. It's really swingy. You know, I've been playing the Meat Axe build where you just you have 2 and you swing and you hope you draw something and they have 1 less card in hand. It's really nice. It's really nice. Shout out to the Ravenous Meat Axe.
Yeah, well, you know, the Meat Axe is a card I really love, right? And I'm glad it's starting to get its time in the sun, especially in Rhinar, right?
Yeah.
You know, so with all that support in Dynasty that Levi didn't get and Rhinar did, not that I'm bitter or anything like that. You know, it really did give some juice to Ravenous Meat Axe, which is cool. It's just like one of the first weapons I was like, this is really neat, and I want to play with it. And I'm glad it's happening. Now, my Scabskin moment of the week is on a worse tone than yours. We're going to talk about Indianapolis because it was a fun weekend. It was a great weekend. Yeah. But in terms of me playing, I played a Rhinar deck. I had a lot of fun. I was running relatively hot. I was 4-2 going into the last round. If I win, I go to day 2. If I lose, I don't. You know, it is what it is. I get matched up against Matt Rogers, who, you know, if anybody knows who Matt Rogers is, former, I guess, best in the world, now number 17 in the world. I looked it up, you know.
Day of or today?
The I did the next day. Well, actually, when I got home, when I was telling the story to Lady Fresh, oh, what's up, Dagan? How you doing, buddy?
How's it
And you know, he's on Dash. He's playing like Hanabi Blaster Dash.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. I love the Hanabi Blaster. I know like some people aren't as high on it, but I mean Matt Rogers was playing it, so I mean,
gotta be good.
It's gotta be like, good, okay. Right? So
kind of good.
Yeah, so you know, it should have been a tighter game, but I did roll double ones, Scabskins at like a pretty critical point of the game, right? Because he took like 20 damage from me, just took it, right?
Oh,
so yeah, because he was like, he's looking at his hand, like I can output a decent amount back. But the nice thing about Rhinar is you can kind of block and then swing back with like a swing big pummel or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. So he comes back and kind of like outputs a decent amount of damage, and then I decided to take a lot of it because like, all right, well, if I get 2 action points, he's in a really bad spot. If I get 1 action point, whatever, I output some damage, I can still stabilize. And I rolled the double ones, and then the next turn I'm like, okay, well now I'm in dire straits, right? So
Yeah,
I need to roll to like put the pressure back on, or else I'm never going to regain any of this tempo, and I'm dead. So I rolled a 1 again. So three ones in a row. What can you do? But it was pretty brutal. But you know what?
I do think that you rolled another one back at the hotel room.
We played. Oh yeah, it was my 4th one in a row. Yeah. We played when we got back to the hotel room, and we were like, oh, let's jam a game. And then I first Scabskin's a 1. I'm like, that's 4 in a row, man. But you know, it is what it is. But it was a lot of fun. Matt Rogers was a great opponent, and it was cool to get to play him, and he was very very fun. Did I lose you, Gary? I feel like
no, I'm here.
Oh mate. You're frozen on my screen.
Oh, really?
Oh my God, he's frozen.
Hold on, I'm gonna reconnect.
He's gonna reconnect, folks. Oh, now it's just me. Oh God. Anyway, we having some technical difficulties. We'll see what happens if he comes back here. But you know, hey, listen, Matt Rogers, wonderful man, gave me the Team Dragon Shield sleeves. I was like, oh, it's pretty cool. So I haven't sleeved anything up in them because I don't feel like worthy, but it's cool to have, right? Like I'm not on the team, right? But you know, it's like a nice little memento. It's like I remember when Matt Rogers beat me. You're back. Does it work? Oh no, that's me.
I just restarted Discord and
let me see.
You see me now? Hear me now?
Oh yeah. You're back. Oh my God.
Yeah. I just Discord decided to die. So that's just how it be. What did I miss?
Oh my God. We I don't know. There's nothing crazy. But Andrew says this is why he doesn't love playing cards that involve rolling dice. Cheers to loving that random life. And this is something I've told multiple people, and I've said it a couple times now. But at the tournament, I had a few people say, I always wanted to play Brute, right? I always wanted to play Levi. I always wanted to play Reiner. And they're like, why? Should I? They asked me. And I said, you should on one condition. You have to not be salty. Because you are going to, the worst luck ever is going to happen to you. Also, some great luck's going to happen. It's very swingy. It goes both ways. It has to.
Oh, it's big swings, right?
Yeah, swing big. Anyway, so you have to realize that. And if you're someone who, when that happens, you're going to be down the dumps and like totally ruin your day, don't do it because you won't be enjoying the game. You should enjoy the game. Like, do whatever you want to do to enjoy the game the most that you possibly can. So, anyway, that was the Scabskin moment of the week, buddy. But Indianapolis was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We had some good food. Hung out with a bunch of buds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to pick my meal of the week, and we did the show last week, it would have been the meal that we had at the Italian restaurant Iazzo's with the Realm Games.
Oh yeah,
group Logan and Tan and Grace. It was
Tan and Grace. He looked a lot like Derek Charmer, but I don't know.
He told me his name was Tan and Grace. So and then I, on Sunday I didn't even play any games. I didn't actually play any Flesh and Blood on Sunday.
Oh yeah, you didn't.
I just showed up. I gave people tickets, and then I walked around with our mutual bud Greg, who was coming to Indy for the first time. He lives in Indiana. Took a trip out to Indianapolis for the first time in a long time. We wandered around the city. We got some Mexican food. Drank a little bit too much Red Bull and tequila, and wandered around a bit. I wanted to go to Monster Trucks, but apparently Monster Trucks is like a big deal out there. I was looking at the ticket prices, right before a show. You're like, oh, maybe I'll go. It's like going to be $10 right before. But there's going to be people just trying to dump the tickets, right? Mm-hmm. I go on there, sold out.
Wow.
You buy tickets for $90 if you want, and those were nosebleeds. So even as a joke, I couldn't even go because everybody was in there. So yeah, I just ended up wandering around. Indianapolis is a nice town. There's there's a lot of stuff to do in that downtown area. But then we kind of wandered up. There was this like Coca-Cola bottling factory that got turned into something that looks kind of like Reading Terminal Market.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it was really nice. Did you go? Have you been there? Did you go last time?
No, I didn't, but you were telling me about it, and it sounded really
Yeah.
cool. Indy's a cool town. It's kind of sleepy, right? It's like,
Yeah.
it's like the first year I went, it was March Madness, and it was pretty crazy, right?
Oh yeah.
And nothing was really going on except for monster trucks and Flesh and Blood, and like a teacher conference. So nothing was really, really popping off. But the food was
The
great.
monster trucks were popping off.
Oh yeah, monster trucks are popping off. The Undertaker, right? No.
Oh, the
Grave Digger.
Digger.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
But I do want to talk about the food. Tall Timmy asked. Might as well. Iazzo's was this like kind of like this old school Midwestern Italian joint, like kind of like felt like Al Capone maybe should have eaten there or something like that. And we went with a huge group of us, 12 people. And gosh, I mean, it was funny enough. Jordan from formerly of Flesh and Pod put it best. He was like, the worst part of that night was the food.
Yeah.
But that's saying a lot because the food was incredible. But like
incredible.
Just
absolutely incredible.
Just hanging out with people and just like enjoying this food and having some good drinks. But man, what did I get? I got lasagna.
2 extra meats
with two meats. Oh yeah, Dagan, you didn't come with us, did you?
Oh no, he didn't.
No. Oh well, that's okay. Well, next time. But Dagan did come to the dinner I went the night before, but that was just like a pub, kind of like end of the night trying to grab some grub. But that was a great night too. But Yaz's was just like, it was
cannoli. The first cannoli.
Oh my god.
What did I have? I forget what they're called. I looked at it on the menu and I knew what it was called, but they're just the Nutella donuts.
Oh, Zeppelis.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, geez. What would we have for the... Oh, I got like a burrata.
Oh, yeah. I got some mozzarella, fried mozzarella.
Yeah. Mozzarella.
Some random drink was made for you. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just like I was feeling it with the waiter. I was like, "Hey, man, just give me whatever. I drink it all. Don't worry about it." He gave me a really great wine with dinner. I was just like, "Hey, I'm in it for like the full ride." So it was a ton of fun. It was just like good food and good people. We did Giordano's the last night, which is just like deep dish.
Yeah.
I don't know where don't know where the cheese was, but
yeah, it was somewhere. We couldn't find it.
But no, it was there. It was under the sauce, actually.
It was under the sauce. Yeah.
But no, it was a great weekend. I'm glad that I was playing well, and then I played a decent amount on the Sunday as well, doing some side events just to get the most out of my weekend in terms of Flesh and Blood, because I knew I was working like 10 days in a row after. So I was like, gotta get it in right now, or else I'm not gonna have it until tomorrow will be the first time I play Flesh and Blood paper since Indy, which is like not that long, but it still feels like a long time. And geez, what else was going on? Nothing too crazy, just good people, good vibes.
Yeah, it was just great. We hung out at the Yinzer house.
Oh yeah.
I did a like an 8 to 9 p.m. Target run in Indianapolis, and I forgot that there are no laws in that state. And I was shopping for I had to get my body pillow. I had to get a sign that we never ended up using.
Yeah.
But I was just shopping in the grocery aisle, and if you're from Pennsylvania, you'll know there's the alcohol is very separate from everything else. But in this Target, they had the freaking Tito's next to the Doritos. It was kind of unreal. And I was talking to Greg from Indy, and he said, "Oh yeah, the only rules are that you can't serve it at a certain time on Sunday, and it can't be cold." And I'm like, so if it's cold, if it's hot, you're still not going to drink it?
Yeah.
It blew my mind, man. It blew my mind.
You live in a state where liquor laws are just archaic. I feel like.
And Quakers. It's the Quakers.
It is. It really is. But So you end up at the Yinzer house, the Pittsburgh
Yeah,
house with the Smash with Green Tree folks.
like 12 of them.
Yeah. And so for context, I was at dinner like after the convention hall closed with like Flake and Logan, all that group, just kind of grabbing something. I get back to my hotel or our hotel. We shared a room, and you text me. It's like, you gotta come to the
Yeah,
Pittsburgh house. I'm like, oh, dude, I just got into the hotel room, and then like I got like a text from you that was like really just like aggressive, and then you're like, that was from Sin. So I was like, oh,
it was a
okay.
voice message, I will say. He's like, type this out. I was like,
Yeah.
just tell him yourself, Sin.
So I ended up getting an Uber, going there, building my deck.
Yeah.
I hadn't even built the Reinhardt deck yet, and it was it was interesting. I get there, and some of those fine Pittsburgh people really like to get after it, and it was evident by the fact that I think only a few of them ended up playing in the calling the next morning. So it was interesting to say the least.
Yeah, it was a great time. I'm really excited to go to Pittsburgh again for the. I'm probably gonna try and make it out for the realm brawl. Just because I met everybody. It was super nice.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I played my Commoner League game at the house, which was kind of wild because everybody usually just plays it on Discord. But I was like, "You gonna be there?" We're like, "Yeah, I'll bring my deck." We played it on the house. So that was a lot of fun. Yeah, one of my favorite events for sure. Just really nice to just travel and spend just time wandering around playing games, checking a lot of boxes, and just seeing people. Just
Yeah,
being a goober.
it was nice because it's like it's gonna really hold at least myself over until Baltimore.
Yeah.
For this big stuff, I won't be able to make it to Charlotte. I'm not. I'll be, going to Boston during the Outsiders release, so I wouldn't even be really able to do pre-releases or anything like that. So, it was nice to kind of get that out in the beginning of the year, and it was a real hit, and I'm excited for the rest of this year in terms of what we're going to be doing now. Outsiders is coming out, and we're hot and heavy into spoilers. Not hot and heavy. No, we're just a little hot. We're just like lukewarm. We're pre-gaming the spoilers. Let me see if I can bring up some spoilers here. So we had some spoilers at Indianapolis. So first we got the spike cycle.
The Spike'le.
The Spike'le. The Spicicle. So essentially what they all cost 1. Assassin attack reactions. Target attack action card with stealth gains +3, and when this hits a hero, create either a frailty token, a blood rot pox token, or a spike or an inertia token. So what are those tokens, you might ask? So we saw those as well. Blood rot pox is at the beginning of your end phase, destroy blood rot pox, then it deals 2 damage to you unless you pay 3. What are your thoughts on this card? See you later, Dagan. Thanks for stopping by.
Dagan. Oh man, I love this blood rot pox. This reminds me of a rune chant. It reminds me of a rune chant that deals 2 not arcane damage that you have to pay 3 to block.
You know what it is? It is
Blooming Dew?
No, it's it's a Rosetta 2 arcane, but you only have an Arcanite skull cap.
Yep.
And you're a less slave. That's it.
You're right. But you know what? You're glad you have it.
Yeah.
Glad you have it. Right? You're so happy you have it.
Yeah.
This card this token's nuts. I do want to call out that the spikesicle is only red.
Yep.
So you're only going to see the red version of this in draft, which is really important because some of these tokens are kind of nuts. So if you drafted like 9 of these blood red poxes, like you're dead. Like you kill them because at the end of their turn they have to pay 3, so they have to have had a card in hand to be able to pay that, and that would also take away from their arsenal. or they take 2 undefendable damage. It's basically like reckless swing, but you're waiting, you know?
Sure.
Um, and yeah, this is really scary. I really like it. Hi Mara. So nice meeting you in person. We did some Rubik's cubes together
Nice.
and Indy. But yeah, no, the Blood Rat Pox is fantastic. I can't wait for it. I hope it's on a lot more things than just the assassin cards, because I'm not that big into the assassin idea, but I do like the ranger. So
Sure.
hopefully it's not just like an Arachne special. But imagine if like Arachne's ability is the first attack you have with stealth has, if it hits, create a blood pox token. Oh my god, that would be gross.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And Timmy, thank you for stopping by. See you later.
Oh, thanks.
But yeah, God, the token's pretty incredible. Now,
The art is, yeah.
I guess I should also go back. We also saw this cycle of just like stealth attacks, the infect and sedate and wither. They all do. They cost 0. They have stealth. They attack for 3, block for 3, and then when they hit, they create each one of those. Or each one creates a different one of those tokens, right?
Yeah.
So let's look at wither or frailty, right? Frailty, your attack action cards played from arsenal and weapon attacks have -1 attack until or during the turn. And then you destroy at the end of your turn.
This one's nasty for ninja. I like if you're playing against a Katsu that has Kodachis and you throw a frailty on them, like you're not Kodachi locked anymore, and they're even bigger than that, are even smaller than they should be. So, like, yeah, weapon attacks having -1 is just kind of nuts. Just from the way that certain decks want to play, like throwing a frailty against a ninja is it really is a spinal crush.
Yeah. It's I like how you say you're even bigger than that, or smaller than they should be. I just feel like that should be just another name for a card. Yeah, frailty's probably a little bit more narrow than the blood rot, right? But still quite good, right?
Oh
like,
yeah.
It makes a lot of weapons. Like I don't even hate it against Titan's Fist. It's not coming for 4 anymore. So neat little token. I think all said and done, probably the least generally playable, or obviously they're tokens, but like generally applicable than the other 2. So the last one was inertia. So this is kind of giving the seek and destroy, right?
I do want to speak to one thing real quick about frailty.
Sure.
So we've only seen the codex of frailty.
Yeah.
So, and the attacks, but the idea that you can play the Codex of Frailty, get a card back, throw it in their arsenal, and then you give them a frailty token. So it's all value. It's all value then, because
so true.
So the attack that they bring back is weaker than it should be. And and you've got a card that is not weaker than it should be. So basically, like if all the codexes are like this, that's gonna be pretty nuts. Like I would want to play the Blood Rot one, like God. 3 in 1 turn. You know?
Oh my God! Oh God! It sounds so. I don't even. We're gonna see. The frailty codex. Yeah, you actually bringing up like how, because Codex of Frailty was already, I think, super powerful. This card is pretty nuts. But now that we know what Frailty actually does,
yeah,
pretty crazy.
I also really like the Ponder token. I think that because our only experience with it right now is that Swell Tidings, I think it is just Swell Tidings, right?
My knowledge,
there might be an end Call to Adventure. The Ponder is actually really good for aggro. Like it's super good if you can just play that. If you can play that attack from your arsenal, you create a Ponder to, like, you have an empty hand, you draw a card, you want to throw an attack in arsenal, like Ponder could actually be really, really crazy in the future. I'm looking forward to it. We'll talk about Ponder a little bit when we mess with the spoiler card from today. But I don't think people should sleep on Ponder in aggro decks.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not. Ponder is it's going to be something that folks are going to learn to love. I think if
Yeah.
that makes sense. But finally, we have inertia. Like I said, seek and destroy. But instead of going to the graveyard, it goes to the bottom of your deck.
Mhm.
It reads at the beginning of your end phase, destroy it, then put all cards from your hand and arsenal on the bottom of your deck. And this is just good, right?
Yeah.
Good luck having an arsenal because you can't have one. And yeah, this is. I mean, we saw how good it is with Seek and Destroy. I mean, sure, we don't
Yeah.
see a lot of Seek and Destroy being played in like Lexi, but Azalea loves it, and um, I think this effect just being uh put on like assassin cards and maybe
Yeah.
more is going to be quite good.
Oh yeah. And you know what that when I see this card, you know what I think of?
What?
Screw your pitch deck, buddy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like if you're playing against like fatigue decks, you're playing against wizards, like if they have any cards saved up, that stack is wasted. You're not shuffling, but
Mhm.
you're basically if you anybody who plays Marvel Snap, you're throwing a rock in their deck. You know, you're throwing a rock in their deck, and you're saying, okay, well, if you're gonna play long, hopefully this hand is part of the plan. Because yeah, like granted, an arsenal at the bottom of your deck is usually a card you want to play, but I still see this and I say pitch stacking who, you know.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. Um, what else do we see? We saw the quiver.
Yep, quiver I love.
Quiver's
It's
very
free value.
cool.
Free
Yeah, you can
value.
just put it on. You can have it in an extra equipment zone if you have a bow. This
Hmm.
one is Quiver of Rusting Leaves. It has an instant effect. You pay 3, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's an arrow, put it face up into your arsenal and destroy Quiver of Rusting Leaves, which is kind of nice because if it's not an arrow,
Yeah.
you get to keep it.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, I mean it's just value. I mean it's just gonna be that little bit of extra, um, kind of like smoothing out the ranger problem. I think is
Yeah.
probably the best way to put it. I don't know if this is going to be the best one, but it's a majestic. So I
Yeah.
mean, it's certainly good, and I'm interested to see if they give us any other ones.
Yeah, I really like the way that this takes the design space for Ranger. I think that just giving them one like get out of jail free card to either fix a really bad hand, maybe you have an all blue hand in Lexi, you can just pitch one into there and maybe you can fix it if you need to pressure damage. And like you said, if it dies, if you reveal the top card of your deck, it's not an arrow, you get to keep it. Something you have to keep in mind with this is you are actually getting if you get encased, this is equipment, so you want to make sure that you're not getting encased against Icelander. But uh, Lexi's card Lighted Up also deals damage based on equipment count as well.
Oh,
And this is another piece that is not based on York. The Lighted Up is if it hits and it deals more damage. It deals, I forget exactly what Lighted Up does, but when you're dealing damage with Lighted Up, if Rangers are a big deal, Lighted Up might be a bigger thing because this is another just piece of equipment that's just sitting there on the battlefield.
and something else that's interesting, a lot like the hood.
Hmm.
If you're on the play and you want to
Yep.
start with something into the in the arsenal, it's not. It needs to be an arrow, so it's not quite. You're not going to get the benefit of whatever the bow does, but
Right.
if it's something you want to do, it's
Better
totally.
for Blitz for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, very cool, very cool.
You bring in the hood up because you played my commoner
I
deck.
did play your Lexi Commoner deck. It didn't go so
Yeah.
hot, but it was fun.
Yeah, Alexi's really fun in Commoner. Just you play the honing hood, like you said, throw it in
Yeah.
the arsenal. Just hope you have a good time. But
Uh, I'm gonna. I want like Bonds of Ancestry was spoiled, but I kind of want to save talking about this one for as we get more combo cards
yeah,
because it talks about Gust Wave, and we already have Whelming Gust Wave, but like I'm interested to see what else they're gonna throw at you. But it
yeah.
seems like a very good card. Um, but we'll talk about that as we get closer to Outsiders. But the one that was spoiled today was Peace of Mind,
Hmm.
which is well, the red is 2 for a generic instant. Next time you dealt attack damage, this turn, prevent 4 of that damage, then create a ponder.
Yeah. So this was I said something to Mara in the chat just now a bit ago about the Ponder token. Um, oh, Mara threw out the Marvel Snap joke. It took me a second to get there. I'll get back to you on that one. I love Killmonger and Carnage the best, but I got Null recently, so I'm not playing the Hood right now. And he brings down the Null count. Um, that's an analyst joke. That's thrown into a Marvel Snap joke. But yeah. So Peace of Mind here is a great card that just got spoiled by Team Covenant today, and it says the next time you would be dealt damage, attack damage, very clearly, prevent 4 of that damage. So this counts, your swing bigs. This counts your amplify the Arknights, your Ninth Blades, but it doesn't count your rune chant damage. It's not Oasis 2.0. Um, it it counts it costs 2, but for the value you get to create a ponder token at when this resolves as an instant. So that's really nice for decks that want to block out a bunch. I can only think of one deck right now that really want to blocks out a bunch, and luckily that deck was really struggling to find its foothold. That's Oldhim. And Oldhim being able to pitch a blue, use the remaining to use Crown of Seeds to tuck the arsenal, and then block out his hand, get a ponder token to draw a brand new arsenal he doesn't give 2 shits about, is really scary. Like this is basically a better, what's the one, Biting Gale? It's like 2 cost for 4, right?
Yeah.
That draws him a card his next turn. That's insane. It's an insane card in decks that play a lot of blues.
Yeah. It's very it's boring to me.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. One more thing you could throw into a fatigue Oldhim. There's something to be said that, hey, listen, I look at this for Dromai. And even Mars talking in chat right now, but it's tough, but it can technically be 2 Ash. It's not very efficient. But it's probably the ponder's good enough, but this card it's not something that I'll be playing in decks that I enjoy to play. But yeah, I mean, I guess they're preparing for Oldhim to rotate probably at some point, and when that happens, some other deck is going to start being annoying as well. So
I do also think, yeah, more tools for sure. And speaking of like a deck being annoying, Azalea is really annoying in draft.
Oh, yeah.
And because she just has Dominate on a stick. And so this Peace of Mind card could actually be a means to helping you deal with Dominate in
That's
draft.
A great point. That's a great point.
So I don't want to take credit for that. I think I heard that on the Team Covenant stream, but it could be just another way for a defensive deck to block with 3 cards.
Mm-hmm.
if you got a card in hand, you can block with it and then pitch to play this out of Arsenal or something. Yeah, I mean, I think when we see more of the outsiders cards, we'll be able to see why this card is so important. I think in draft, it's actually kind of nuts, especially if you're just playing one of those slower tanky builds, which we'll see which heroes that actually works well for. But Rangers want things to go in the arsenal, right? So for the 2 Rangers, a Ponder token makes the most sense. Draw an arrow, put it in the arsenal, and call it a day.
Yeah. The limited application here is definitely something I had overlooked, and this feels like a Riptide card in this format, and we don't even know what Riptide does, but I just have to assume, right? Like it just
got really excited over there.
I know. I was like, wait, actually, Ponder or Peace of Mind's the best card I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, it's very boring to me for constructed. But I get it. I would have rather have seen this spoiler card in the slew of other spoiler cards, but I am glad that Team Covenant has that really cool different art that they're gonna spoil. It's not on here, but it looks so cool. I really dig it. I might actually just try to get those ones just to have
Oh, you're
them.
gonna buy a few boxes?
No, but I'm gonna trade for the promo. Yeah. No,
Okay.
I already have all my boxes set up
Oh, okay.
for got to get that Harrison's heat.
Oh, Harrison's Heat. Yeah, I
I'm
gotta
also
grab
getting
some.
that LSS heat. You know what I'm saying? You know
Hell
what
yeah.
I'm saying? We'll see. But
You also want to talk about Death Touch
yeah. Oh, Death Touch. Yeah, this card's
before we
awesome.
move on? Yeah. Oh, Death Touch is sweet.
This is 1 for 6, an Assassin Ranger action
Mhm.
card, Assassin slash Ranger, we should say. Uh, can't be played from hand, so we're looking at banished, graveyard, or arsenal,
Ponder.
and or from deck, if it's like if they print an emperor that searches for death touches.
Oh.
When this hits a hero, create a frailty, inertia, or blood rot pox
Mhm.
token under their control. And hey, you know what power it is? 6.
6. We got a Brute Ranger. Let's go.
Yeah. Pops things, I think, is the most important thing
Yeah,
about it.
yeah. No, it pops things for sure. That's a great. Cost 1 for 6.
It's great.
Snap.
Only
Dragon
blocks 2,
Scaler.
but
What?
only blocks for 2. So hey,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
not for nothing.
Balanced.
Yeah, I think this card's awesome. It's really good
Yeah.
with the codex. You can pop that into your arsenal from your
Yeah.
graveyard. Yeah, this card's pretty. I mean, 1 for 6s are just awesome.
Yeah. This gives me Elden Ring vibes. Like,
Elden Ring?
yeah, where you're coming out of the hell swamp
Yeah,
or whatever it's called. I forget what it's called, but yeah.
yeah, awesome card. I'm excited for it.
Mhm.
But you know what else is awesome? Stealth.
Stealth is awesome. Yeah, we didn't talk much about stealth yet because we have 5 things to say about it.
So first of all, a lot of people were wondering because we had seen some stealth on cards, right? Like that one attack reaction that was
Yeah.
spoiled in the little period on the Christmas article. And recently, like there was a lot of like speculation. What is stealth gonna do? Was this whatever? But the judge, whatever
Joshua
hub,
Scott. Yeah,
or what-
Joshua Scott, the guy that make Lake of Rot. That's
yeah,
it. Thank you, brother.
Joshua Scott posted an article. It was like, "What is stealth?" And there's like one little blurb, and then like a lot of blank space, which everybody just knew. Just like you got to highlight the blank
Yeah.
space, and you can read it. And basically, it's nothing, right? It doesn't do anything on its own, and in a lot of ways, it's seeming to act as if it is a talent a
Yeah.
talent without being a talent, and it's kind of interesting. So that means that there's going to be things that care about stealth, and the first thing that we've seen that cares about stealth is attack reactions. So we thought it'd be kind of fun to talk about what else is going to care about stealth, and I'll kick it off.
Yeah, go for it.
Hero abilities, right?
Absolutely,
I
yeah.
think Azuri and possibly the new Arachne will have something in their hero ability that does something when a stealth attack is played.
Absolutely, yeah. I really like the idea of I think the article said that different assassins uses stealth in very different ways, and I think that that's a very flavorful way to play with assassin because if I started watching One Piece, and there's this whole organization of assassins that deals with things in a different way, and I found that to be really flavorful because it's like, oh, if you send this person to the job, they're going to do it very differently than if this person did the job. So yeah, I think the different hero abilities will lean into the play styles, into what that hero feels like and what that hero would be doing in a stealthy attack environment. The next thing we want to talk about is weapons. So weapons really, I feel like, so if you know what Spider's Bite does, which is Arachne's current weapon, if Spider's Bite hits the next attack, next time your opponent blocks with an attack, it's -1. So pretty much it just the weapon sets up a further attack.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we're going to see something with a weapon that you want to swing either first, like Spider's Bite, where a dagger that says your next attack with stealth gets +1. right? Because then all those 0 for 3s are 0 for 4. And then
Wow.
that's like the inverse of Spider's Bite. But you also like can, if you're an assassin, you can, take a card from their hand and play the long game if they decide to block out. Or if they're not blocking, you can just swing with those 0 for 4s, do it really well. Alternatively, since none of these attacks have go again, it's going to be hard to get a second attack in. You could have a weapon that says, like, because the assassin has boots that give go again, or maybe have to find different ways to give the attack go again. There could be a large payoff for using a weapon after a stealthy attack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like
Go ahead.
Hexagore level, like you stab them
Yeah.
and then you hit them hard on the head,
Yeah, I really like the weapon idea, right? What I'm thinking, because like stealth, like it definitely lends itself to the idea of being unblockable, right?
Right.
So when I think of it, I think of a dagger or even a short sword or something like that. It's like if this hits, like it could present 2 damage, right? Swinging for 2. If this hits, your next stealth attack is unblockable. And then like I don't think that's unreasonable, because if you look at those other cards, like the 0 for 3s, right? I mean, 3 unblockable is good, no doubt.
Oh yeah.
And unblockable might be tough. It might have to be like modified unblockable, right? Like can't be blocked by attack action cards, or can't or gets piercing or something like that. I don't know. But if it's a cool way to just like, oh, guarantee you give one of those tokens.
Yeah.
So or you can even give like the Bolton ability, right? Like if it's blocked by attack action, it gets +1. Something like that would be really neat. Now, obviously a huge thing here would be equipment, right? So currently Assassin really only has 2 equipment, a headpiece and a leg piece. So I imagine we're gonna get at least a chest or a arm or both. So it would be interesting to see an equipment piece, and I feel like arms make the most sense.
I think
here.
so, yeah.
Usually they deal with dealing with power or attack and stuff like that. So something that says when you play a stealth card, I don't know, or next, like it has like an activated ability next time you play a stealth card. Like any of these things make sense, right? Like if this hits, the next stealth attack does this, or if when you activate this, your next stealth attack does this. Something. What would you like to see on equipment?
Yeah, so maybe I'm gonna have a controversial take here. And so before I get into this, I want to shout out to Burke, the it's pronounced Vusserai guy, in the Buds Discord. Him and I were DMing earlier, and he said that the number crunch on the set lines up so that silver token might not be in the set, which is kind of a big deal if you think about it.
Yeah,
because the current pieces of equipment rely on silver to be recursive.
Very true.
The current build of Assassin is like go long, go super long. Like you want to deck them out, right? You want to attack with a 0 for 4 that mills that banishes for 1, and then you want to make silver so that we can get your equipment back, and you have this like infinite iron rod, right? But if there's no silver in this set, I was thinking I think Assassin would probably get another pair of boots in a way that maybe this is just me wishful thinking on Creepers level, but what if you have a Creepers style assassin set of legs that says if you attack with an attack with stealth, you may play an attack reaction card. You could play an attack reaction card, or you can play, I don't know, if you've played an attack reaction this turn, something gains go again. So that way you get a second attack out of it. That if you trigger it, you have to deal damage each turn.
Yeah.
Kind of like checking like Creepers does. I think that could be really, really cool, because the way that if Assassin is going to rely on this recursive armor over to like bring that back over and over and over again, I don't think Azuri is really going to be able to support that in like an aggro play style. I mean, one instance of go again is hard to like. One instance of go again will often end the game, right? So that's why Snapdragon Scalers is just sometimes played over any legendary, right? Because give something go again and you can kill them. Or like Storm Striders, one instance of play an instant as a non-attack as an instant, game over, right? So something to be able to, pop and give an attack go again, I feel like could be really cool. And the way that the inertia or that momentum could be is that if you've dealt damage, if you activate this ability and you haven't dealt damage this turn, either boots are destroyed or something like that. Something with blade break. I think the idea of the stealth boots could be really cool. Stealth focused in particular, as like an attack reaction. And I think we could see something like a Shuko kind of thing where it's like, oh, an assassin Shuko, right? Where it's like
it's a triggered ability rather than activated. Ability.
Yeah, your first assassin attack gains, +1 each turn. That would be nuts. I mean, that would kind of be insane. But like, because it would overpower the 0 for 4s into 0 for 5, and so like not having go again would kind of make that a little bit interesting. So I don't know. I think stealthy Shuko could be an idea, or some way to give a stealthy attack go again if you've dealt damage. I think it really depends on what the hero abilities are. To be
Absolutely, honest. And it could be very just dependent on hero ability. There's no doubt Azuri cares about it, right? And I think like one of the last things is probably like a zones. Like cares about zones, right?
Yeah.
Definitely cares about Arsenal. I think this whole set's going to be like, we care about Arsenal.
Yeah.
A lot like Arcane Rising cared about top of your deck.
Yeah.
Except for Viserai, right? Viserai didn't really care about it.
Viserai doesn't care. And that's why another thing about this, sorry, I'm going to go on a tangent about the silver thing. Burke's got me going. But so the idea of Arachne being placed in Dynasty worked thematically. The Emperor's dead, right? But Arachne was actually supposed to be in Arcane Rising.
Yep.
And so Viserai doesn't match because Arachne was supposed to be in there, and Arachne cares about the top of your deck. But the idea of looking at the top of your deck and milling and all that silver recursion, all that kind of stuff, it didn't work for draft. But these heroes might work better for draft, which is probably why you're going to be seeing how's it going? Syncreed? That's Sigma, right?
No, that's Armor.
Armor. Oh my gosh. Yeah, right.
What's up, buddy?
Armor, Sigma is Sam. Right. But yeah, the idea that each of these assassins use different zones could be really cool. And I think that it's just going to be very different than Arachne, what we're used to now.
I think it's cool, and I would like to see Arsenal stuff. I'd like to see graveyard stuff. I mean, anything graveyard banished, I'm like in, right? For obvious reasons. I'm still holding out on some really cool stuff in generic that affects the banished zone or graveyard. As I said, actually on Steelblade Showtime, a show by the Buds, Brendan and Derek, they run this great show. I was on this past week. Shout out to them. Shout out Owl Central Games, which got a 1K in a week, right?
Next week, next Saturday,
which should be a lot of fun. And that's something that I'm kind of holding out hope for. But stealth, I think, from Arsenal is probably going to be kind of in tune with whatever's going on with Azuri's ability. So that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, you also mentioned something that really spiked my interest. Spiked. From Hand.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So so in Magic the Gathering, the band game, there is a what do they call it? Mechanic called ninjutsu. So basically, if something was unblocked, you return the card that's unblocked to your hand, and you put the ninjutsu card into play. So here I would think like stealth, something along that line, right? So it's like, if this is not blocked, all of a sudden like the stealth card is it comes in, but that would have to be a hero ability as well, or it would have to be a hero ability. That's like, it's too specific and I guess flavorful for just like, it wouldn't make sense to be put that in, like if it was on a like an assassin arm piece, it wouldn't make sense to be for the original Arachne, right? It didn't care about stealth stuff.
Yeah, and I think honestly, really like with that the idea with that for Azuri, since she started in Mysteria. You know, she kind of was built up to be a ninja, but she became an assassin. Um, and you know, who knows? Maybe Katsu and Benji can use stealth cards. So I really liked where your head was at with that, with the stealth mechanic. But yeah, this is a good list of 5. It's gonna be cool to see how it plays out. Maybe we're prophets, you know,
Yeah,
not
sit down,
Swiss.
Capolo.
Yeah, we're prophets. We're gonna call it out. But
Yeah. So, yeah. Let's. I want to talk about a deck, but before we do that, take a look at this. Another article by yours truly on LSS's website has been posted. Now, I'm gonna repost it in the Buzz Discord and on Twitter and stuff like that. But I do want to point out one thing, because I did for the first article I let Gary read it before I like did changes and stuff like that. But because I was working so much, I had to just bang it out, and I had Lady Fresh help me. But this is a surprise for you. I have a quote here.
Oh no!
in the beginning of one of the blurbs, that says, "As the NBA Hall of Famer Allen Iverson once said, we're talking about practice." And I just they let me keep that in, and I'm like, pretty happy they did, because I thought that was great. So, anyway, we're gonna talk about a deck that I built recently. I've been playing around with. Levia, of course. I'm playing Levia. This is my Unworldly Rainbow deck. Why is it unworldly? Well, we're talking about...
Because it's out of this world.
Out of this world. We're talking about Unworldly Bellow. Let's bring the red one up. I'm playing all 9 of them, so that's where the rainbow part comes in. So this card's really cool. It costs 1. It blocks for 3. It's a Shadow Brute action. It's a non-attack action. As an additional cost, you banish 3 cards at random from your graveyard, as Levia cards do. And it says the next brute or shadow attack action card you play this turn gains +4.
Really good.
Really cool card. And basically the idea was, I just want to like play this card. And the tough thing with it, right? It's not a 6. I know. Yeah, Mars like, oh my god, Tommy's playing Levia. What has become of this world? I don't know what's going on with me. But the problem with jamming a lot of these Unworldly Bellows into your deck is that they clunk up your graveyard.
Yeah.
And then when you need to turn out Blood Debt, all of a sudden you miss and you whiff. And it does help turn out Blood Debt in like full Blood Debt the builds, because you can banish 3 with this and then banish 3 with your next thing. But I didn't want to build that. I wanted to focus on brute attacks and like good attacks that cost 2. Obviously, it doesn't work with Command and Conquer, but Command and Conquer is just good because we're also running red pummels here. But if you go Unworldly Bellow with the pitch blue, Unworldly Bellow pulping, right?
Oh god.
You're 10 dominate go again. I mean, that is out of control. It makes your skull cracks even good to just play out. We have Bear Fangs, which can come in for like 12 with the reds. It works with... I play Dread Screamer. I'm thinking I'm going to cut the blue Dread Screamers for blue Ghostly Visits, because Ghostly Visits works with this card. I don't know why I don't have it in there. Currently, we have Budrush Bellow in here. I don't know if it's going to stay in, but it's a decent card. Swing Big, really good with these Unworldly Bellow. Pack Call, I'm just playing in every brute deck ever because the card's awesome.
Yeah.
Wild Ride, obviously. And then we got like Reckless Swing. You got Deadwood Rumbler. You want to keep all the blue 6s you can have. And that's... Actually, I don't know why I don't have Soul Harvest in this deck. Soul Harvest needs to be in this deck. I don't know why it isn't. But 2 Reckless Swings. It might come down to 1. And we'll put the whole Soul Harvest in there. Basically, it's like a lot of fun. And then currently, I mean, I haven't really worked on the sideboard, but I just kind of have just a ton of defense reactions. So you can, it's like control Levia. You know,
that's cool. I like that a lot. Got the Art of War. Keep it in.
Yeah, I think you got to keep the Art of Wars in, because I'm still playing Boneyard Marauder, still 1 for 6. Still playing Dread Screamer. So there are things with Blood Debt. So there
Right.
are times when you will need to turn off Blood Debt in a pinch. And Art of War is excellent for that. And Art of War is great. And
Oh yeah.
and Harley says love doing Unworldly into Graveling. I don't have the Graveling Growls in here just because it's mostly a pummel deck, but it's something I could consider. It's certainly good. And I'm also trying to keep the Blood Debt pretty low in this because but it's something that like I'm trying to find this weird middle ground on Leviah, right? Because there are those full, like basically no Blood Debt builds, and then there's the Blood Debt balls to the wall builds. I think there's some kind of middle ground that we haven't really found yet, and I kind of like playing around with it. And Unworldly Bellow is a card that makes me want to do that.
Yeah, it seems like just a really good. I've been playing a lot of Brute just in Commoner, and it seems just like a really good Bellow that has no. The only drawback is you can't play it on like turn 1, right? Right. So like you almost want to go second in this deck just to block, keep an Unworldly Bellow, and then play one of your play a good attack. Are you worried about hitting it 9 in a row with Beast Within?
No, there's still a lot of sixes in here, right?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's still 36 sixes in the deck.
Okay.
I mean,
so
sure,
yeah,
you could hit 9 in a
you're
row.
not gonna die, right? You'll never die off Beast Within.
No, I mean, I've certainly died off Beast with it, but this is something I just want the buds, especially the Leviah buds out there, to start thinking about. Because if we start like thinking a little bit more out of the box with Leviah, I think we can get to a place where all of a sudden it's like, wow, this Leviah build is awesome. I'm not saying this is it, but I've been playing around with it. There's certainly things I want to change. I think the blue Dread Screamers are coming out, and I think the blue Graveling Growls are going in.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I don't know.
Cool deck. Yeah.
I do have Carrion Husk in the sideboard. I don't know what for, but I bet there's something you want a 6 block.
Wizard. Yeah.
Wizard. Oh yeah. Oh, Kano, it's time. Time for the Carrion Husk. Oh my god. Whew. This is a fun episode.
Yeah, it's a good listening, I hope, for everybody listening.
I hope everybody had a great time. Now, I do want to open the floor for you to plug anything you'd like to plug, Gary.
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at Mr. Viz, Mr. spelled out VIZ. Lately I've just been, doing schoolwork, and I think it's great. I thank everybody in the Buds community and the Twitter community for sharing my school survey link about sauce. I want to thank everybody who did that, because I didn't think that, I know we have a whole thing about blue cheese and all that stuff, but I didn't really think that people would latch on to the idea of what do you like about your sauces, in the community. I should have known. There's a lot of passion. If you haven't taken my survey already, I'd really appreciate it. At the end of my school project, I've decided I'm going to be doing a Fab community sauce profile. So exclusively on the Budrush Bellow, maybe we can make that a sauce readout, biased towards whatever the project was about. But I also want to give a shout out to the Buds Discord. If you haven't joined it already, you should. It's a great space to play any type of game you want, even Blitz, especially Blitz. Hop into the Buds Discord and say hi to everybody. A little fresh family in there, So, yeah, that's all I really want to plug. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, I just want to respond to Mara in the chat. It says 0 6s in the new meta. Everyone cut all your 6s. Why would we do that? I can't imagine Mara, who plays Dromai all the time. But thank you everyone for listening. You can continue to find me on Twitter at FreshBudsPod. Check out the articles that I'm doing on Flesh and Blood's website. There have been a lot of fun to write, and I hope people find them enjoyable. They're geared towards newer players, so if you're a newer player, enjoy, and if you know some newer players, send it their way. The Buds Discord, as Gary said, great place to be. Patreon, also a cool place to be. We're going to open 2 packs after this, and we're going to have a ton of fun doing that. What else do I got to plug? Jeez. Be good to your family and your friends.
Yeah.
And
thanks again to Brandon and Derek from Steelblade Showtime for having you on this week, and I'm really excited to hang out with the Buds next weekend. We'll talk more about that. Maybe I'll do my Viscerai list for next week. But yeah, exciting. The 1K is going to be cool. I haven't been to Owl Central, so I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, it's great. It's great. Owl Central is one of my favorite stores in the country, easily. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll be there as well.
Are you going?
Yeah, I'm going to be there. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be there.
I thought you said you were going to Denver.
No. Denver's going to make Pittsburgh tough. That's what's going to be. But I still might be able to make that work. Now, everybody, be cool. And meal of the week. Do you have a meal of the week?
I guess my meal of the week, we did like an impromptu happy hour tonight. I went to Dark Depths. We went to this place called Spasso on the waterfront. They have a nice happy hour. It's like an Italian place. 5 to 7, 7 p.m. happy hour. You can't turn that up. Turn up too hard at that. But they have it was nice. Got just like a penne with vodka, some bacon, peas, rum and Diet Coke, But yeah, how about you?
Jeez. I scarfed down leftover Chinese before this, but today I was in Hoboken and I stopped by Fiore's, which is one of the best sandwiches in the state, and I got like their special today was sausage and gravy with fresh mutts. It was incredible. The Tall Timmy's not in chat anymore, but the Tall Timmy can attest to how good their sandwiches are. He went there when he was in Jersey. Now, this has been wonderful, Gary.
Yeah.
Everybody, please have a good week.
Bellow.
Bellow.
Bellow.